Hello, welcome to Kclau's Money Tip Show, and today we are talking about something new that I haven't covered before. Today we'll be talking about real estate industry and also like property investment opportunities in Thailand. So we have someone here. He's Eugene Lim. He's representing Sansiri. Sansiri is a developer in Bangkok. I think one of the largest. I'll let him introduce more information about that. And also Eugene, he is Malaysian. So we have someone who are Malaysian local. Then he representing us. He can know what we are actually looking for as a Malaysian if we are going to invest in Thailand. So now he's working in Thailand and he knows a lot more about that than us. So welcome, Eugene. Nice to have you
Hi,
here.
hello. Thanks, Casey. Thank
So
you, thank you.
can you tell us a little bit about your role in Sansiri? So what you're working on right
Oh,
now? Yeah.
okay, sure. Basically, Sansiri is one of the top developers actually in Thailand, the whole of Thailand. So basically, we are the first to actually establish an international marketing department, and that's where my role comes in. Because what I do is develop business and partnerships and alliances all over Asia for Sansiri. To
Yeah.
to perhaps educate people, to help people understand more about Thai properties. Why invest here? What kind of opportunities are there and stuff like that. So currently, I'm handling the Chinese market, the Middle Eastern market, or obviously, Malaysia, my home ground. So it makes sense.
Nice. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So let's start by talking about Thailand's property. In Malaysia, of course we have a lot of property choices. We have like the three major towns like
Mhm.
Greater Klang Valley, Penang, and Johor Bahru. So even the local investor they
Mm,
have a lot of choice to go to. Like, but
mm.
why should we consider Thailand at all? What do you think?
Okay. Basically, obviously the Malaysia isn't going through the best of times economically, right? What we're looking for is basically to diversify and protect our wealth. Okay,
Mm,
so there are a lot of choices in like Iskandar, Johor Bahru, Kuala Lumpur, Penang. Now the thing is, I am from Johor Bahru, and I understand how the market forces and how the dynamics of it work actually. You have too many speculators in Johor Bahru, whereby supply is not controlled. The supply of new developments is not controlled, and it is not based on what sort of demand, real demand, you see. So in Thailand, there is a long-term progression plan because they want to position themselves as the center port of the AEC. So that's why they have to be very, very careful. They have to plan long term rather than just feeding the speculation market. So in terms of choices of real estate to invest in, Thailand or Bangkok actually has the similar amounts or actually as good as Malaysia in terms of the choices and variety of real estate that you can actually invest in. And bear in mind, we always have to look at population to understand if there will be real growth in the
Okay,
long term.
good. Do you have like any statistic about like population that we can refer to?
Okay, right. Currently, Thailand, we have about like residents, right? Is about 10 million. Okay, they are still because like most developing countries, data is not readily available. So there's actually about 12 to 15 million people in Bangkok itself.
Okay.
Okay, so where are these people coming from basically? A lot of them are Thais. Many foreigners actually come to Thailand because they prefer the working culture, and because it's quite central in terms of getting to Singapore, Malaysia, and going to China. So in terms of accessibility,
Okay, Eugene, just now you mentioned about there the population in Bangkok is
mm,
about like 10 million. So a lot of it is
yeah,
in foreigner like compared to KL probably the foreigners part will be the portion will be a
about
lot
30%.
30%, right? I don't think Malaysia is
Yeah.
as that high. I guess.
No, they will not be.
So what's the reason? Like, all the foreigners, are they like buying any properties over there?
Okay, in terms of the foreigners, right? Like the seasoned investors, or they actually they continue to be bullish over Thailand, and actually not all foreigners are like that. Only foreigners that actually live here are still bullish about it, because they understand that in Thailand political problems are constant. It's always there. It's never going to go away. Okay, and that's what many investors worry about. But if the investors can actually check against the transactional volume, right? It hasn't actually depreciated in terms of transaction volume, because the Thais are still buying into it. The reason that the prices are steadily going up, not at a ridiculous rate, you know, it is still at a sustainable rate, I would say, is because the Thais are supporting their own economy. You know, there's no capital flight happening. You know, so they're still buying into it. So for example, right, when you look into a market to invest, and it is not just Thailand, I'm just talking about any market, the first thing you have to look at is sustainability, whether it's sustainable. Because you can look at the Malaysian market, because it's easier for us to compare against Malaysia. When you look at the prices in Malaysia now, do you think that people like between 25 to 30, can they easily afford it? You know, because we have to look at that first. They are the ones who are going to keep the market going. Whereas in Thailand, most of them can actually still afford it, because the average wage is going up quite a lot. In fact, actually, I think it might be higher than Malaysia, right? And you will look at over the past 2 years, actually, there has been what we consider a slowdown in Thailand, okay? Because due to the political problems. But the only slowdown comes from the foreign purchase. In terms of local purchase, it is still very, very strong. For example, like based on our past 3 developments by Sansiri, 95% of the projects were taken up by Thais, not foreigners.
So it's still the
So it
local
doesn't
buyers that is like walling up, taking up all the properties, right? Most of it. That's what you
right,
said.
right.
Okay.
Most of it is bought up by local buyers. So you have to understand as well that obviously Thailand has actually improved a lot in terms of its economy and its infrastructure, actually. But the locals believe that from what they see infrastructurally, from what the government is spending on the infrastructure of Bangkok or Thailand, they actually see real growth over the next 5 years, whereas it's going to be sustainable. When we talk about sustainable markets, okay, we're looking at effectively markets that do not grow more than 10% per annum. When you start averaging on capital gains 10% per annum, more than that, it's not a sustainable market. You see, like for example, if you look at Malaysia, I think at one point we were up to like 20% per annum on the previous 5 years ago. So, you know, what happens now is that even the locals have stopped buying. The purchasing power from the locals has actually stopped. But whereas in Thailand, it has never really stopped because of, I mean, culturally, they don't really invest overseas as well. So the money is always spent within the economy, and that keeps it sustainable, actually.
Okay, Eugene. So I think the most important question we all Malaysian investors want to know is when we buy a property there, what is the process? How is it different, like compared to Malaysia?
Okay, in regards to the time frame, is pretty much similar. Okay, if you buy on the secondary market, but if you buy a new development, it is a lot faster because directly from developer we transfer your name to the title deed. So basically, you're still looking at about, if you buy a new development, you're looking at about maybe 1-2 months to complete the whole process. Whereas you buy on the secondary market, you're looking at about 4 months. The key difference here would be Thailand has one of the lowest transactional costs in the world. in terms of buying real estate.
How is that possible?
Okay,
Oh.
because the thing is, this has always been here. In fact, they've actually added some taxes in, to make sure the market doesn't outgrow itself.
Yeah.
It used to be there's no stamp duty, no capital gains tax, no rental income tax to your property when you buy. There's only a transfer fee of 2%, which is split between buyer and seller. Okay, so at the moment,
so no stamp duty, no nothing. So only the transaction fees.
yeah,
What do you call that? Transaction fee.
yeah, basically your
Transfer
transactional
fee.
Cost.
Transfer
right?
fee is it? I think you mentioned this.
Yeah,
Transfer
transfer
fee.
fee.
Okay, so that's like
And
2%.
when,
Share buyer 1%, seller 1%. That's it.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
And then when you do sell your property, if you keep it, if you sell it before 5 years, it's 3.3% tax. They call it SBT, special business tax. So it's 3.3% on your selling price. Doesn't matter whether you make or not. But when you keep it more than 5 years, it becomes 0.5%.
Okay. Thailand properties. So I'm talking about we're talking about transaction costs over here for.
Yeah.
So you have
transactional
the
cost.
first thing is called the transfer fee.
Yeah.
It is just 2%. So it's
Yeah, split between buyer and seller.
50-50 buyer seller, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And you're talking about another tax form is called SPT, is it?
SBT, special business tax.
Special business tax. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is like what, 3.3%.
3.3% over the first 5 years,
So
and then
if,
0.5%.
is this like every year you have to pay?
No. This is only when you sell.
Oh, if you sell. Okay.
Yeah, if you sell.
If you sell. So if you don't
It's like
sell, you don't have to pay
capital
this. So if you
Yeah.
sell it within the first 5 years, then you have to pay this 3.3%.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about
After 5 years, 0.5%.
so it drops to 0.5%.
Yeah.
If over 5 years. So whether
Yeah.
it's 30 years, 40 years, 100 years, you'll still have to pay this 0.5%, right? So
Yeah.
this is just
Correct.
SPT.
Correct.
Okay, is it a form of like income tax?
Yes, it is actually income tax. Because they don't actually have property too many regulations about property taxes. So
Okay.
but obviously you have in Thailand there are a lot of deductibles as well. Like when you contribute to charity, when you have your long-term equity fund. So that's all deductible from this tax as well.
Oh, so this is getting more complicated. So okay, never mind. We just keep to property, and
Yeah.
then after that, is there any legal fees that is involved?
When you buy from a developer, basically no legal fees are needed. Even when you actually buy from like let's say on the secondary market, right? You only pay for the sales, the drafting of the contract, and that's it. So that's probably about up to like 2,000 baht or something like that.
You mean 2,000 baht or 2,000 ringgit?
But so that's like 200 over ringgit.
Wow. So like in Malaysia is quite a lot, right? A few thousand we have to
It's
do
4%. I think the total transactional cost in Malaysia is like 4%.
Yes, because
Because
we
you
have
have
to add
stamp
in
duty.
up the stamp duty. So even without the stamp
Yeah.
duty, only the legal fees would be like easily a few thousand. That's there,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
But currently also because there is some stimulus, right? Like I mentioned, by the Thai government. Basically the transfer fee now is 0.01%.
You mean for this year or what?
Yeah, till April next year, 2016.
So it's before 2016. It's still sorry, it's 1%.
0.01%. No, 0.01.
0.01%. This is the transfer
Yeah.
fee instead of the
Yeah.
usual. Oh, okay.
2%. Yeah. So basically you pay very minimal, like less than 10 ringgit for your transaction for your transfer fee.
So, and then if you're buying from developers, you don't pay any legal fees, right? So
No, you don't
basically,
pay anything.
basically the transaction cost will be very minimum, right? It's less, it's
When
0.01%. Wow.
when you buy from a developer, basically like for us, Sansiri, what we do is that we actually waive off all your transfer fees, and we waive off your 1 year's worth of maintenance fee and your sinking fund as well.
Oh, I see. So like 1 year you don't have to pay anything. But okay, how about let's talk about the down
Yeah.
payment, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, we usually take about 30% down payment because foreign loans can go up to a maximum of only 70%. Okay, like in the Philippines or wherever. Because when you actually get people to put down 30%, we would like more serious buyers rather than speculators. I mean, that's our long-term business model. So what happens is that when you have 30% down, it's more likely the buyer would be serious about it, who wants to keep it long-term, rather than just constantly flipping it. And that's how markets actually overheat.
And 30% is it imposed to foreign buyers only, like the local, they don't have to?
Correct. Only imposed to foreign buyers. Locals pay like 5%.
Okay, let's talk about financing here. So you mean local is paying 5%, but as foreigner,
Foreigner pay 30%.
oops, foreigner will be paying 30% down payment. So is it like same across the board? Like other developers also, they are like asking for 30% down payment?
Well, most of them do now. To ask for 30%, or a lot of them run deferred payment schemes, which means it's like a developer loan where over 3 to 5 years, where you pay maybe like 20%, and then you split it over a period of time. So it's really dependent on the buyer, but most of them collect minimum 30% now.
Oh, so maybe there might be some variant because of the payment plan that the developer offers.
Yeah.
Right? So probably like
Correct.
paying 30% over 3 years or until the property is complete, and you finish your installment, things like that.
No, not 30% over 3 years.
Oh.
You're paying basically the whole amount over like 3 to 5 years. It's like developer financing.
Oh. You mean the whole amount of 30%?
No, the whole amount,
Amount
the
of the
purchase
properties.
price.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So it's basically a cash buyer, but it's over time.
It's okay. And financing part, it means if we can take up mortgage from banks, for foreigners it's up to 70% maximum. Is that?
Yeah, up to 70% maximum.
Okay, like for Sansiri's project, when like foreign buyers like us, Malaysians, so where do we get the financing? Do we get it from the local bank in Thailand, or like in bank in Malaysia? We can do that.
Basically, you can get it off the local bank in Thailand. Or you can get it off UOB, Bank of China, or ICBC. Okay. My recommendation is to actually come with one of the local banks here, which is Mabung Kong Finance. Okay, it's a subsidiary of Thanachart Bank. Why? It's because they actually give you Thai baht loan, whereas UOB, ICBC, and Bank of China, what they do is that they actually give you Sing dollar loan or US dollar loan only. Okay, and that's not exactly the best scenario for Malaysian, because you will be exposed to two FX risks, basically ringgit to Sing dollar to Thai baht, or ringgit to USD, USD to Thai baht. So you are exposed twice on the exchange rates.
I see, but the interest rate will be different, right? When we are loan, we borrow with like USD.
If you're taking a Sing dollar US dollar loan, it will be 6.5%. If you're taking at about the Thai baht loan, you are looking at about like maybe 8.9, 8.8%.
So the loan part is 8 point something.
Yeah, that's a Thai baht loan. So that's a ringgit to Thai baht loan.
Okay. 8 to 9 or 8.9? Sorry.
8.8.
8.8.
8.8 to 8.9, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Normally, when property buyers when they go to Thailand to buy properties, so what are their major concern other than financing, transaction costs?
Okay, in terms of their major concerns, right? Because the transactional time frame and process is very, very simple. And in terms of the financing, most of them actually worry about how they get financing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you usually only get financing when the product is completed. So a lot of them worry about, oh, what if the product is completed and I actually don't get my approval? So the thing is, at Sansiri, because we are quite one of the biggest developers in Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually get the buyer down. We get our financiers to sit down with the buyers, and they can pre-qualify them to see if they can get financing or not, basically. So that's one of the major concerns for Malaysian buyers,
I see.
really.
So you say that pre-qualification. So does that happen before you buy the property or like after you buy and then
That happens before we buy the
before?
property. You know,
Okay.
like when we like, should we do a show anywhere? We get a financier along to go and to speak to our buyers as well, to help them understand the requirements that they need to
Mm-hmm.
secure a loan.
And as you mentioned, the loan is secure when the property is completed, right? That means we pay thirty
Correct.
percent and then we wait for how many typically how many years does the property takes to build?
So usually 2 years.
Okay,
It's usually 2 years.
even for high rise.
Similar to, yeah. We
Oh, I
usually
see.
take about 2 years.
So after 2 years is built, then we are we are going to talk to the bank and get the loan. So what happened if loan is not approved over that time, or is
Okay.
this like avoidable? Is this kind of situation doesn't happen?
No, during the pre-qualification, right,
Mm-hmm.
you would already know, because it would be done by the bank themselves, that if you are going to get a loan, a mortgage, or are you not going to get a mortgage. So you could actually make a better decision then. you know so if they say, like, you can't, they can't give you 70%, then obviously you don't purchase the property. If there are some people who are very highly dependent on financing.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it doesn't really happen most of the time. Where by the time they get to the end, if they actually have a pre-qualification, they have a letter from the bank, from the financial institution, they usually do get their loans.
And I think it's also quite safe because the property is already completed at that time,
Yes, correct.
right?
Because when you're exploring overseas, what I've noticed is that a lot of people want to buy completed properties, because at least they can actually see, they can view the property, and they can rent it out for immediate income.
Hmm.
So it gives overseas buyers some form of assurance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And but the problem for like sub-sale property, like in Thailand, can they sell it to what is HT, right? Can it sell it to I mean the sub-sales properties, can the seller like sell it to foreigners? Can they do that?
Oh, the seller can sell it to anyone.
So there's no
You can
restriction
sell
on
it.
that. And
There's no restriction whatsoever.
and also
But
no
in terms
price
of
point threshold like Malaysia, we have to buy like foreigners have to buy
no,
over a
there's no
million
price point
properties, things
threshold.
like that. Okay, good. And how
Yeah,
about financing part? So I look at the interest rate is quite high. And how about the term?
mm-hmm.
Like how long can we take?
It's usually about 10 years in terms of the
So it's
tenure.
just 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I think as a property investor's point of view will be uh, the loan of 70%, at a high interest rate, and then at a shorter loan
Mm-hmm.
tenure. That means their installment commitment will be quite high.
You usually would
Yeah.
be on what we call cash flow negative.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
But the thing is, what we're looking here is the total ROI. We're not just looking at rental yields.
Mm.
In terms of total ROIs, you would be averaging at about 12-15% per annum in Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
even though you are still on cash flow negative. I think most investors or a lot of people who actually buy, they split up capital gains and rental yields.
Yeah.
They don't actually understand what the total return on investment is. They don't calculate it probably up to the all the way down, because you also have to look at in terms of the currency as well. Currently the Thai baht has been devalued, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alongside the Malaysian ringgit that has been devalued. So it is a good time to buy because because the Thai baht is semi-pegged to the US dollars. So the US dollars will be raised in terms of their rates, will be raised probably towards the end of the year or the start of next year. So that goes up with the US dollar. So you are actually already making a gain. So I mean, when in terms of investment wise, having a positive, it depends on the objective of the investor. If they are very adamant that they want a positive cash flow, then probably Thai real estate is not for them.
So it means it's very
Okay.
hard to get like positive cash flow because of the financing part. And how about rental yield?
Okay, the rental yield typically you're
Yeah.
looking at about 7% to 8%. Okay,
Mm.
so the trends change over time. The reason that the rental yield has gone down, it has actually gone down, is because the price appreciation has caused it. You're not going to get good rental yield and good price appreciation at the same time.
Yeah.
It is correlated. So price appreciation has been fairly good for the past 5 years whatsoever. And steady, we're not looking like 18% or something like that. We're looking something more towards like 8% to 9%. So growth at this rate is sustainable, and that's what you need to take into considerations. Because most importantly is that yes, I think Thailand will go through another boom in probably 2017. Why? It's because that most of the core infrastructures will be ready, okay, by the government, and like we have the high-speed rail by the Chinese government. Japan is looking to get involved with the high-speed rail and also the highway that links all the way to China, to Yunnan. So these are things where in the long term, so 5 years basically, people should look at rather than your immediate cash flow, if they can actually afford it, because at the end of the day, KC, because a lot of people, I think they have a misconception in terms of investment, because if I'm going to say that you are going to get, let's say you are buying a property that's going to yield at about 10%, right? People usually grab on it immediately, correct? The fact of the matter is that 10% means you get back your money in 10 years, which you have yet to make a single cent unless you sell it, right?
Yeah.
So that is your money down there, not doing anything for 10 years, actually, until you sell it. But we also have to understand the cycles in a real estate market. When do you buy or when do you sell? Because you can't keep real estate for too long. I mean that's a personal opinion of mine. I always believe 5 years you go through a cycle, sell it off. You go through another cycle, you sell it off. But there's also another misconception of a hot market and a cold market. So the Thai market at the moment, I would say that locally it's hot. It's always been hot, but to a foreigner's perspective, it might be quite cold at the moment. And the hot market is like somewhere like Philippines, okay? So, but a lot of people actually forget the most basic thing about investing, which is buy low and sell high. I mean, people can say that, but a lot of people actually do forget about it. Because what does a hot market mean? A hot market means that everybody is buying into it. So you're basically one of the many that's buying into a hot market, and it's likely you will be selling at the same time as them, which could already turn into a cold market. But a lot of people ask me, the financing is not exactly feasible for a lot of people because you're on cash flow negative. A lot of people just look to collect rental and whatnot. as a long-term income. I think Thailand is more of a market where you buy and you sell. Okay, you can't keep it for too long term. I find, you know, you
Okay.
just after 5 years you move on to the next thing. After 5 years, move on to the next thing because it's just got that kind of cycle. Transactional wise, I mean, the volumes are steady in terms of the local demand, so that's not really a problem. International demands
Uh,
obviously it depends on like the news, what the headlines
yeah,
are
I
and
mean
whatnot.
the
But
strategy might be different here, lah, because yeah, as you say, at the time it is built, so it has the capital appreciation, and when you transact, the transaction fee is so low, then
mm,
of course you can, as you say, is buy and sell within just a few
mm,
few short years, like 4 or 5 years, and then
yeah.
okay, what happened when you sell? You are still on financing, and the financing part you have to redeem all your loan, you have to settle all the outstanding. So is there any penalty involved normally?
Oh, okay. When you actually do sell,
Yes. So as I
all
just pay
right.
1 year and still owe like 9 years of loan, so I want to sell it.
Okay, right. They actually you do actually have a penalty. I think it will amount up to like 20 odd thousand baht. So that's like 2,000 something ringgit.
So it's like one time fee is not based on how much you
Yeah,
loan.
it's one
Okay.
time fee. It's a one time fee. Yeah.
Okay. I see. Good. Okay. How about let's talk a little bit about Bangkok itself. Now we know
Mm-hmm.
the situation here. Okay, let's delve more into number as well. Here we
Mm,
have a slides talking about PDF file talking about the text thing. So
mm.
yeah, can you explain more about this, like this table?
Okay.
How do we look at this? Yeah.
Okay. The in terms of the transactional costs, these are the transactional costs. Over time, they do change depending on what the market needs. How the government wants to create more activity economically. Like basically, in terms of transfer fee, like I mentioned, it's
Yeah.
2%, right?
Yeah.
That is the standard the whole time. There is, however, a period now where it's only 0.01%
Expiring
currently,
April next year. Okay.
April 2016.
Okay.
But we don't really know when if they will renew it. You see.
Okay.
But it's never been more than 2%. It's never been more than 2% anyway. Okay, the specific business tax, right? That is 3.3% if you sell less than 5 years. Okay, it's like income tax. Okay, now the stamp duty, although we don't call it stamp duty here, it's actually what you pay after 5 years, 0.5%. Okay,
Okay.
now withholding tax is dependent on where the money is going to be. If the money is still kept within Thailand, you don't pay the withholding tax. But if you take it out, then obviously some tax will apply.
So here, why
Mm.
1% or 5 to 35%?
Okay, because it's really dependent on how much you make. Yeah, but this is only when you actually take
The money
the
out.
funds out free. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, and for leasehold land, you say that
Mm-hmm.
not available here. That means you don't have to pay transfer fee if it is like
Yeah,
leasehold land.
but generally nobody buys leasehold because leasehold in Thailand is like 30 years,
Oh, very
only
short, huh?
30 years.
Very short.
Yeah, because it's the king's land, you see. So unless it's a very very nice like beach lifestyle kind of product whereby you're in front of a villa or a sea view villa and things like that. Normally people don't actually buy leasehold products
I
in
see.
Thailand. Mm.
Okay, so by the way, this all these PDF file will be uh, put up for your download if you're watching this. Okay, let's go to. So this will be an example, right? Can you show us this example? How does it work?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, right, the appraised value is basically like what we call valuation in Malaysia. Okay. So depends on the number of years that you hold, right? So they will have your all the expenses that you use year on year. So like which is deductible over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So that means every year there will be like how it works in Australia, whereby you have deductions in terms of your furniture, things that actually devalue over a certain period of time,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have your long-term equity fund. So all these are deductible from the taxes.
Okay, let us understand. See, if the seller sells the unit within 2 years of acquisitions, that means now I buy from you. Uh, After two
Mm,
years, and official appraised value is 3 million baht. Okay,
yeah,
so official appraised value 5 million baht. So why is the different 3 million, 5 million? 3 million is the time you buy, is it?
yeah,
Okay, so after 2 years you are selling at 5 million.
yeah.
Is
So
it
that's 2 million
possible
difference.
that we have this kind of so this is just an example, right? Okay, let's go through this. And then you have just now you explained that the deduction, so we have to pay we can deduct from here because we incur some of the deduction of
Yeah,
expenses based on the number of years of possessions. So how do we come up with
yeah.
the 84% here?
Okay. Basically, right, that is done by the land department in terms
Mm-hmm.
of basically you submit all your receipts and whatnot, and they actually they have a threshold whereby what is deductible and what is not deductible. But basically, like the Philippines, or they can up to like 85% to 90%, whereby it's deductible in terms of the taxation.
Oh, so this figure might
So
might be different for each person, so it depends on how much is
yeah,
incurred.
correct.
Okay.
It is quite different, but that's usually the usual threshold. What you see on the 800,000 there, right, is basically what you get taxed on.
Okay.
So it's very, very minimal tax, you see.
So 800,000 divided by
Mm.
two, so it's 400,000 baht
Over 2 years,
over
correct.
2 years. Or because it's 2 years, so divide
Yeah,
by two. Okay. And then the
yeah,
calculation of the tax in accordance with personal income tax. So it
yeah.
will be
That is
taxed
income
on,
tax.
or that's tax on the income tax level.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. And 5, 10, 10,000. So this is the tax schedule
yeah, yeah.
multiplied
Tax
by the
schedule.
number of years,
2 years.
2 years.
So 50,000 baht.
50,000 baht is the tax you need to pay. Okay.
Yeah. So 5,000 something ringgit, 6,000 ringgit.
So notwithstanding the calculation, the method, the total withholding tax payable should not exceed 20% of the total price. Or what does this mean?
Sorry.
The total withholding tax payable should not exceed 20%. So they put a cap
Oh, okay.
that yeah.
Yeah. Then that's the cap. That's the cap rate.
So you won't be paying more than 20% of the total price. That means the price is
Yeah.
5 million. So you are not going to pay like over 1 million for this. That's a cap.
No, of course not. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, right, you're likely to, you won't reach those numbers unless you're buying something like 80 million baht or something like that. So really luxury property, then maybe then you will come close to the 20%. But other than that, you actually don't. That's the average amount. The average amount you pay will be about 50,000 baht, 60,000 baht. So it will be less than 10,000 ringgit. So you're looking at about like 6,000 7,000 ringgit.
And here's a schedule. So you say the standard deduction for expenses. Uh, so is this
Mhm.
like 80%, 84%? Is it like it's a fixed
2 years,
percentage we
yeah.
use, or is it like might be different? It might be lower, depend on
Uh,
the receipt
it
you
is
have.
it is okay, based because the laws have changed as well. So this one is actually fixed, right? So in some cases there are more deductions available other than this 84%.
You mean it might be more than 84?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there you have other deductions as well to consider. These are basically just in regards of the property.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so these are the table of okay, let's look at one of it. Sample tax calculation assuming a 10 million sales price and a appraised value
Mhm.
of 8 million. Um, what does it mean here is you buy at 8 million, right? Appraised value of 8 million.
Yeah.
Then at the time you sell is 10 million. Okay.
Mm.
And so if you hold it, let's say for 5 years, so this
Yeah.
transfer fee you have to pay is 2%. Stamp duty you need to
Yeah.
pay.
No, you only pay 1% of that actually. So 80,000 baht.
1%. Yes. So
Mm.
because it's um 80,000 baht, so it's 1%. So it's based on the appraised value. It's not based on the sale price, right?
Mm. Mm.
Okay, so it's like okay, and then 3.3% because within 5 years you have to pay that. If after
Yeah.
5 years you are paying the above the stamp duty, and then
Yeah.
the withholding tax will be this after the calculation, right? After this
Yeah.
calculation, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Total
But that
tax.
is not that hasn't been deducted yet in terms of the tax. Yeah.
Okay, so this will be the total tax you pay. Okay,
Mm.
depending on the wording in the contract, this fee. Okay. Okay, I think we got a picture of what this means. And how about talking about some of the Bangkok infrastructure, right? If for people who have been to Bangkok, they have a MRT line. What do we call
Yeah.
that? They call that
MRT.
the MRT, and then they have the Sky Train. How is it different?
BTS. Yeah. BTS.
Yeah, how is the BTS, Sky
So,
Train, and MRT different?
okay. The MRT line is basically underground. BTS is above ground. That's the only difference between it.
Oh, but they're connected, right?
Yeah, they will be connected in certain stations. There is something else called the airport link as well. If you can see towards,
Yeah.
there's a red color line down there on the
Yeah,
right side of the map.
Here, right?
Yeah, that basically links all the way directly to the airport and a few stations. Okay, so
Okay.
since last year, what has happened is that BTS, the SkyTrain company, right, has had a joint venture with us, Sansiri, to develop developments, projects
Oh, I see.
around, yeah, areas among the SkyTrain lines, or there will be some expanding
So
SkyTrain line on
where's your
new
project located, like in this map?
Basically, we have projects all over this map.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
yeah, because we've been here for about about 32 years now. We have about 200, coming close to 280 developments all around Thailand. We've developed in London as well. So we've got quite a lot of developments almost everywhere here. So where we're looking at, if you look at the lower right of
Okay.
the BTS, right, that is basically the main Sukhumvit road, which is very popular with expats. Okay, so Sukhumvit road. So from Sukhumvit, you will see from you have Nana, Asok, Sukhumvit, Pompong, Thonglor, Ekamai. So this is the main Sukhumvit road that goes by
Yeah.
streets, whatever soil they are. What you will see here is that there's a lot of activity. Most of the foreign real estate activity happens on this line.
So this
Okay,
green line.
and most
Okay.
yeah, most expats actually prefer living there. Okay, where the CBD is, you will see is like Plunchit, which is just after Nana. Okay, and then
where is it? Sorry.
you have Plunchit just after Nana. You see Nana? Then after there's one
Yeah.
more called Plunchit, right? Okay, so
Yeah, Plumchit.
that
Okay.
is one of the CBD areas. You have Saladeng, Silom. That is also a CBD area for like banks.
Oh,
And then you have the main shopping district, which is Siam.
where is that?
Siam, just
Oh, Siam. Here.
after
Okay.
yeah, right.
Okay. Oh, looking at here. Okay. Good. So, if we are looking for rental yield properties, so the area will be the foreigner area, is it?
Yeah, but it would also mean that the more expensive properties are usually there as well.
The more expensive one, you mean, are usually here also?
Yeah, the more expensive
Okay.
developments. So I think, okay, if you look at Asok, for example, which is just the blue color and green color in line with Sukhumvit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is one of the most central areas in Bangkok where
Yeah.
a lot of foreigners like, because it
Yeah.
links the BTS to the MRT as well. And in terms of the
Oh, really?
roads driving,
Sorry. Getting back to that.
yep,
So you mean here is oh, is a M the blue line is a MRT, is it?
the blue line is MRT.
So this
Yeah.
is a SkyTrain BTS. So is
Mm,
okay, okay. So it's linked over here. Okay.
yeah. Okay. So the most popular area now would be Thong Lo, and also prices there are one of the highest in Bangkok.
Tom Law. So it's over here lah. It's
Yeah,
just somewhere over here.
yeah, yeah. No, Thong Lo is just down by two streets. It's we call it like Little Japan, because all the Japanese expats live there.
Okay, can we search on picture to show how to spell that? Tom
Yeah,
T H O
T
M
H O N G
O N G T H
N
O N
G.
G. Okay.
Yeah, L
L
O.
O.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Thong Lo. So here prices are going at about above 300,000 per square meter.
300,000
So
per square meter would be like how much per square feet?
if you work out per square foot in ringgit, it'll be in the range of 3,002 to 3,003 per square foot.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's not, central CBD.
That's not central.
It's just no, that's just a popular area with expats to live,
I
because all the
see.
bars, the nice shopping malls, the nice restaurants, and all the nice. I mean, it's quite a nice neighborhood, to be fair. So
It's
it's
more like
quite
like
quite
Bangsa
populous.
in KL, is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
But
Okay.
it's a lot smaller than
The
Bangsa.
Bangsa. Okay.
It's a lot smaller. It's just one street, basically.
Oh, I think you can see the street here, like Tong Lo. This is
Yeah,
Tong Lo, Tong Lo, Tong Lo. Right. Okay. Okay.
yeah. So it's just one street only that's really expensive. So there's not much
Oh,
land in Bangkok.
I
So
see.
that explains the dynamics of the prices. And because there's not much land, there's not much developments not enough developments there. A lot of it actually they spill over to the next station, which is called Ekamai.
Okay, let's get back. Where is that?
One station down from Thong Lo. So you see Thong Lo, Sukhumvit, Prong Pong, Thong Lo. Just move down slightly your
On
mouse.
what line? Sorry.
Yeah, the same line. So Thong Lo,
Oh, here,
right?
Tong Lo.
Yeah, Thong Lo. Then
Ekamai.
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 Yeah, so Ekamai is also very expensive because it like Thong Lo, not much land area to be developed. So you're looking in the range of about the similar range, about 3,000 ringgit per square foot, if you worked it out. The only thing
Okay.
is that because there's so much spillover
Mm,
that the developments around after Ekamai, like Kclau or
mm,
onwards,
mm-hmm.
it's coming up, in terms of Bangkok real estate
I
now.
see.
So if you compare in relation, so like for example, Thong Lo, people are buying at about like 300,000 per square meter onwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in Akamai, people are buying about 280,000 per square meter, 260, 280,000 per square meter.
Yeah.
Then if you move down one more stop, which is actually not far, actually,
Prakanong.
Pakanong,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Pakanong is about 170,000 to 200,000 per square meters.
Oh,
Yeah, and then you see it spills over. Basically, the tenants all spill over because it's more affordable in terms of the rental.
I see.
You see, but the prices are, yeah, like I said, they're not exactly in Malaysia we compare not exactly cheap, considering it's not even the
Mm,
central CBD area, but it's just a road where it's preferred by expats. You know,
mm,
uh, because of all the activities that are around there, the shopping centers and whatnot. There have been quite a few very, very nice luxury shopping centers around there. And then you have En Route, okay, which the per square meter price is about 110, 120,000. So you can see even like 3-4 stops away, the prices vary very, very, very far in terms of the price difference.
It might be walking
So
distance, right? If you're going to walk, right?
yeah, like no, you can literally just stand on one of the buildings and look over the next street. It could be selling at about 170,000 per square meter, even though you're one building away.
I see.
So it depends, which BTS you are close by to. So now we've seen a trend whereby a lot of expats have actually gone towards Kclau and En Route. Why? Because rental is affordable down there, and that you have better choices of developments. Because the normal one bedder in like Thong Lo, people are renting out for like 40,000 baht. So you are looking at about 5,000 ringgit for a one bedder, right? Whereas in Kclau or Note, you are looking at about maybe 1,000 something ringgit for one bedder. So when it's just a few stops away, so it makes sense for a lot of foreigners to slowly move towards these more localized suburbs. I would say more localized suburbs.
Okay, good.
Yeah. However, that's not the most expensive. Thong Lo is not the most expensive in Bangkok. There is a place called Wireless Road
Where's that?
in Bangkok. It's nearby Asok.
Okay,
Close
Aso.
by
Where is
Wireless Road.
Aso? Wireless Road. How
Yeah,
do I
it's
spell
close.
that? Can I?
Wireless, WIRELESS.
WIRELES. Wireless. Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wireless Road.
Okay, I found it here.
It's literally called Wireless Road.
So it's
So
here.
Wireless Road is probably the most expensive place to buy in Bangkok. You are looking at about 500,000 per square meters. So that's like 6,000 over ringgit per square meters.
True.
And no foreigners actually buy there. Only the locals who buy. Well, I mean, it wouldn't even make it out to the foreign market.
Because the
Because
local
people
super rich
queue-
will be staying here.
Well, they don't really stay there. I mean, they just buy to keep and they don't sell. It's like a status thing. Oh, I have something in Wireless Road.
Oh, why is it so
So
expensive? Then.
it is it is pretty much the whole it is so central in terms of a location. You're so close to the finance CBD, the financial center. You are close to the shopping area, which is Siam, Terminal 21 also. And then it links you to another major road, which is Rama 9, or we call it here Param Gao. So the links to it is so good in terms of transportation, the roads and whatnot. So, and it is obviously the most preferred place among locals in the whole of Bangkok.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, great. So thanks a lot. I think we learned a lot about Bangkok property during this session. The transaction fees are involved. The investment plan strategies and things like that. So anything you want to add?
I think I would like to add is that a lot of people have misconception in wrong perception of Bangkok in terms of the political unrest and in terms of even the dynamics of how prices go up are quite different in Bangkok or in Thailand compared to the rest of the world. Okay, in terms of buying off plan or new builds, and people also don't really understand that how Bangkok would be primed to be one of the best cities in 5 years' time because of all the infrastructure. So I like to, if you have friends or family that you would like to come and visit Bangkok, and our team here will be glad to host them. We have a huge event on the 12th or 13th of December, which is our Winter Market Fest.
You have an
by
event coming
Sansiri.
up, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
this
within
is
our master development, called T77. We will basically, this is located in between Parkhanong and Ornut. So we will bring our friends, investors along and show them comparison in terms of other developments and whatnot as well, to what to expect when you buy in this sort of areas. And most of our honky buyers, our Taiwanese buyers and agents, they are all coming down. So it'll be good to trade some ideas to perhaps to help people understand more, help Malaysians understand more maybe, because the Taiwanese and the honkies are quite bullish about Bangkok at the moment.
so this is
Okay,
the
so
development
yes,
at Sukhumvit Road. Just now you mentioned about Sukhumvit Road.
yeah,
And T77. So can we like pull up in the map where the actual exact location is?
yeah. T77, Sukhumvit 77. So they can contact our marketing partners in Kuala Lumpur, which is Risen Capital, to register, and we'll
Yeah.
host that. It's not really about real estate. It's about, we have a night market there, we have dance, concerts. It's a bit of a party really, like celebrating the end of the year.
Where's the exact location?
Sukhumvit 77. So you just put down T77,
T77.
Sukhumvit 77.
Okay, just search for that.
Yeah.
T77. Uh,
Then put Sukhumvit 77.
okay, so
So you don't have
it's
it there?
here. Yeah, it's 77 is over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So if you are going there by MRT, by SkyTrain,
You
right?
you can drop off at on BTS on Note, or you can drop off at Parkhanong. So that just
Parkhanong.
slightly down on the right
Oh,
side. Yeah, Parkhanong or Note.
sorry. Ongnut or Parkhanong or Ongnut. So this is
Yeah,
BTS, right? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much. And
Okay,
yeah. By the way, we are going to put up all these PDF just below, so you can read more and understand more about that. And if you want to go to this event, just fill up the information below, and who can they contact? In fact, no.
they can
Just give
contact
that
Jackie.
Jackie, right?
From it's Reason Capital. So
Okay.
I think now people can come and understand where, when they come and visit us at the event, we can explain to them why now is a great time to buy in Bangkok, and also enjoy the atmosphere as well. So they can see, because the occupancy rate in T77 is 88% actually. So
Right,
we'll
right.
have a lot of tenants, of our tenants coming down. So people can join us, have a bit of fun, understand more about the market. Even though it's a cold market, why buy now? So don't buy during a hot market, buy during a cold market. So we'll catch up, and hopefully some of them will understand Bangkok better.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Eugene. So thanks for your time,
Yeah. All right.
and thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.